everyone. My name is Carl Bierock, and welcome back to episode 2 of our football podcast. Along with us, as always, today is head football coach at Seckman High School, Nick Baer. Nick, thank you so much for taking some time out during the last week of school to talk with us today.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, so, school's winding down, but, the work never stops, so to speak.
Yeah, last day of school is on Friday. We're a couple days away. Boys are working through their finals, getting them last assignments turned in, and Tuesday after Memorial Day we get to work. And we've had a lot of conversations about the summer, setting the expectation for attendance, and we've been lifting weights in class, doing this or that. But the intensity, the expectations, everything gets cranked up when the summer starts. So I'm looking forward to it, and I know the boys are as well.
Yeah, a lot going on this summer. I mean, here we are almost toward the end of May. We have a couple unique and special programs coming up in June for the boys of all ages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our youth camp is less than a month away at this point. We already have 135 youth campers signed up from kindergarten to 8th grade. 2 nights, June 18th and 19th, about an hour, 15 hour, 30 minutes a group. 2 nights of football and fun, as I call it. I have my coaches and players. We come out, run the boys through some drills, and girls through some drills, and we have a good time teaching kids the game of football. For me, football is a lot about, building confidence, having confidence in your ability. And the more confident you can play, the faster you can play. And it's a great way, really, to introduce your player to the sport. If it's something that, they love watching it on TV, they like to play it at recess, come on out and get a picture of it, a little bit more of the real deal. $30, I think that's cheaper than a babysitter. So
absolutely. As a father of twin boys in the 7th grade, I could speak to that for sure. Wanted to also talk to you about just the social media presence. We're a very humble and small following on Facebook, but the number of views from podcast number 1 have been tremendous. 1,700 to be exact. And it goes a long way to show that there is a true interest in what you're doing here at Seckman and the program that you're building.
Yeah, anytime we here can get the good word out about Seckman football, it's fantastic. 400 of those views might have been my mom and dad, but yeah, no, it's awesome. We really want to try to reach the whole community. We're doing a lot of positive things. Our boys are working really hard, doing a lot of good things, and we want to make sure we're letting people know and letting them feel a part about what we're doing.
Yeah, it's tremendous. I mean, this is something that's very special, and the frequency of the podcast will increase as we get closer to the season. And we're always looking for feedback from the community. And, if there's topics or things you'd like to cover, please feel free to drop a message below. And, that's something that, Coach can look at and add some additional content to the podcast as we go forward. So this really is a community. It's about, you folks who are watching and showing off all the hard work that the boys and the coaches are doing on and off the field. So today's podcast, we want to focus on something in particular. Everybody loves the top 5, and one thing in particular, focus on the top 5 plays of 2023. It was a tremendous year, 10-win season, a historical defense, and the points given up per game was, for a good chunk of it, was around 10 points or so. So just tremendous. Would like you to walk through your favorite or your top 5 plays and highlight individuals and the team and what makes those plays so special.
Yeah, a fantastic varsity season last year. When you go 10-1, it was a season full of great plays, a lot of good consistency. But no, this is exciting. I was excited to put this list together, and we're going to get rolling through it. Top play number 5, this game, this player highlights Tommy Gabar, our quarterback this year. He had a fantastic season, 3rd all time in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns behind Tyler Fisher and another guy you might know, Cole Rubel. So just a fantastic season. And really, this was my highlight for him. It's a 14-7 game at Oakville, really tough game. Offense is really struggling. We couldn't get much going in the run game. Pass game was struggling. For Oakville, it was their homecoming, conference championship on the line. They really played their best game, I feel like, this week. So this play here was huge and paramount in the game. So what we're going to do, we start motioning out the back, kind of create some space, get that outside linebacker to flow with him, trying to get our receiver open on the edge. All right, Tommy doesn't see what he likes, puts the ball down, turns on the jets. All right, he's got speed too. 47 yards to the house. Makes it a 21-7 game. A game where we were really struggling to get things going. Huge play and a huge moment. Sometimes players make coaches look smart, and this is definitely one of those plays Tommy was able to do that.
Yeah, certainly a tremendous individual play, and then just everyone else in there doing their job. It's more than, I guess, one individual.
Yeah, that's what it takes. Really on that play too, and I'll run it back here a little bit. We work this a lot. Quarterback doesn't see it open, works his way out the backside B gap. Okay, the backside B gap right over here. Okay, if he tries to go play side here, he'll get tackled. All right, but working his way out the backside B gap to scramble allows him to find that seam there, and out he goes. So fantastic play by Tommy.
Yeah, it's such a big game for the organization, and a even better play. So hats off to Tommy on that play. That was tremendous. And so that brings us to our fourth.
Yeah, with the rest of our list here, I kind of took a little different approach. This season, honestly, it wasn't really a season of huge plays or big, humongous moments where we needed a goal line stand or a huge pass at a specific moment. It was more of a season of consistency, a season of us truly building our identity of who we are as a football team and how we're going to continue to be successful for years to come. And this first play here, play number 4, there's one word for this play, and it's weight room. Okay, the weight room is a very big part of what we do. And Dom LaGrasso here, our safety, is a guy that takes the weight room very seriously and has worked really hard. He's about 160 pounds right here. The Pattonville quarterback is about 220 pounds. All right, so anytime you got 160 going up against 220, 160 better be able to take care of himself in the weight room. So really, like I said, this play here, Dom's going to make his read. You're going to see the quarterback try to scramble, get into the hole, and you're going to see what the weight room looks like. Smack. All right. When 220 could stand up 160, okay, like I said, that's all weight room, and that's a huge part of us, a huge part of our identity. Last week we just finished up maxing out our PRs. And next year's team's going to end up being one of the stronger teams I've coached. We had the most players with squats over 365 and 405 than any team I've coached. We've had more players with benches over 225. You're talking 35, 40 guys, about 45 guys with 365 pound squats. One area we're going to continue to work and improve on is our power cleans. Right now we're at about 24, 25 guys with power cleans over 225. I want to get that number to 35, 40. That's going to be a huge emphasis for us this summer, working on our cleans and really our powerful movements, being able to move weight quickly with power. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, looks good. And so with that, we're going to your favorite play number 3, and just was wondering if you could talk us a little bit about that play.
Yeah, play 3. This is our second game against Oakville, our playoff game. Definitely a very different song and dance going into this one with the playoffs. We played a much better football game, and this game was just kind of dominated by our defense, and in particular our defensive line. Our defensive line play is something that we've really taken to a new level. Our defensive line Coach Jackson, does a great job of getting our guys ready, getting them aggressive, and really teaching them to get off the football. When you look at our D-line, they may not be always the most imposing players. When we look at our nose guard here, Isaac Johnson, he is about 5'3" and 165 pounds. And, Daniel Lauder next to him, 5'10", 200 pounds. We're not looking for huge bodies in these positions. We're looking for guys that can be powerful, guys that can be explosive, guys that can get off the ball. And this play here really demonstrates that, as you'll see all 4 guys have a meeting at the quarterback. Every one of them ends up making it to the quarterback. All right, 4 guys, 1 sack. And really, another part of this play that I really like is you count the offensive linemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, they're all doing what we call look back blocks, where you look back and you find your quarterback on the ground. So just a fantastic play and really, a true definition of what it means to play D-line for us. So, great job by those guys.
Now, is there like a certain name or anything for that type of defense where you have more of the speed as opposed to the big body, or is that just something that you gain?
Yeah, really honestly, it's something that we just value here. We value the speed and the power a little bit more than the slow, but there still are roles for those guys to play when you're looking at 3rd and short. You know, we just kind of have a certain body type and a certain ability that we're looking for. And when we're going towards the ends, obviously you're looking taller, a little bit longer arms, ability to move and have hips. And so far, we've been able to fill those roles in pretty good, and it's looking like that again next year.
All right. Okay, that brings us to number 2, Coach.
Yeah, number 2, highlights, who we are, our offense. I know if you've been to our games the last 4 years, sometimes it might feel like Groundhog's Day. It might look like run left, run right, run left, run right. But I can guarantee you that it's not. I do promise you. Lots of different ways, lots of different blocking combinations, lots of creativity goes into this, and just a meanness of attitude. It's really tough to face, and a lot of teams the last 4 years have had a hard time stopping us. And this play here in the Fox game, like I said, this doesn't go for a touchdown. This is barely a first down. I believe we get 8 or 9 yards. But I really want to break down what's happening here and what you may not be able to see as this play is going. We're counting on stealing this edge, and we have a couple different ways to steal this edge. On this play, we decided to do it with our receivers. We're coming down here with both receivers sealing the edge, and then what you're going to see about 4 guys coming around here. All right, all pulling around, getting out in front of the ball carrier. All right, and now we're in a numbers game, and I'll show you how those numbers end up playing out. Got the edge sealed. I'll run it back here a little bit. We get that edge sealed. Oh. And now what we got, okay, we obviously got our ball carrier here and back. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys out lead blocking. The edge is sealed for 1, 2, 3 Fox players. Okay, we won the numbers game. Now you got a guy with the ball in his hands that can move a little bit, make a couple reads. You got yourself an 8-yard gain. All right, so what may feel like Groundhog's Day, this is who we are. This is what we do. And, a lot of teams are having some hard time stopping it as of late. So,
yeah, well, Coach, I was wondering if you could talk to us about what is the name of this offense, because there's a lot of folks who are coming into the program. They may not be familiar with the type of offense that's run.
Yeah, and we have definitely evolved a lot from 2021, if you have, or 2020, if it's been that long since you came out and played. But we got this. It's a single wing formation, and really the offense is just a formation, because every offense has a power, every offense has a sweep, every offense has a counter, every offense has an ISO. The only difference is the formation you line up in. Okay, and what this formation does, it allows us to get leverage. On our blocks, allows our blocks to get a little bit easier. So where it may look a little different than what you're used to, in essence, it's like everybody else's offense, but just a different formation. And as we've moved through the last couple of years, we've added new formations and done things like that. And excited for a few new of the developments we have coming into this year.
Now, Coach, you mentioned the wide receiver blocking. We're going to hold that thought here for a minute. But
okay.
Wanted to get to your favorite play of 2023.
Yeah, you alluded to it a little bit. Our defense was fantastic this year. Kept us in a lot of football games, stepped up in huge moments. And really what our defense was about was 11 guys doing their job. I know it's very cliche, but we had some success the last couple previous years, not necessarily playing team defense, but, guys running around. We had good defenses. But this year's defense was really about everybody doing their job, their responsibility. And it's not more evident in any play. It's evident in a lot of plays, but this is one where it for sure is. This is against Valley, you know, great football program, great coaching staff. When it comes to me in my career, this is about as close as I can get to beating Bill Belichick, if you know, if you know what I'm saying. Judd Nager, fantastic coach, fantastic football program. This game went back and forth. A lot of cat and mouse between their offense and our defensive coordinator, Jeff Taylor. And it's just a lot of fun to see when, things that you may not notice when the game's actually going on. And before we start this play, I'll kind of explain to you what they're trying to do to us here. They've lined up with trips to the field. So what that's forced us to do is pull a few guys out of the box. So we have 4 of our defenders here, all right, over 3 of their offensive guys. So when we come back to the boundary here, the shorter side of the field, all right, they've got 1, 2, we've got 1, 2. So now the numbers are better. And what you'll see here is they're going to bring this guy in motion. All right. And so now what they've done is they've brought a 2-on-2. Now they've brought it to a 3-on-2 advantage for them, and they're going to try to exploit that. And this play worked a lot for them, throughout the season. When it came to this one, it came down to execution for us. Okay. What you'll see, our linebacker here, Dylan Lappy, does a fantastic job of taking on his block and absolutely destroying it. Our corner's job, all right, is not to jump inside, okay, but to hold the sideline, okay. So he's going to do a great job, and what that does creates an alley for our safety, Jack Compton, all right, to fly up here and make a play, all right. You'll see Dean Meckel coming over on the backside, scooping it all up. And then once again, our defensive line played fantastic job here. They're going to fire off the ball, and you're going to watch these guys get upfield and then immediately chase flat down the line of scrimmage. All right, Luke Steiner is going to immediately go upfield, and then he'll actually come behind and catch this play from behind too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let it roll for us here. We get that motion. Watch that motion guy. He's about to get smacked. Smack, smack, and everybody comes to clean it up. This was a greatly designed play. We had made an adjustment to kind of widen out our linebacker a little bit at this time. And, trust me, later on in the game, Valley came back with an adjustment that beat this. But we happened to get him on this one. And it was just a fantastic team defense play. Everybody doing their job. Defensive line coming from the backside. One of the trademarks of our defense this year, team defense. So fantastic job.
Excellent. It's hard to whittle down your whole season into 5 plays, but that
wasn't easy.
No, I bet there's, like a 3A and 3B and things like that.
Oh, there's plenty out there, no doubt.
Yeah. So as we go through time, we could, highlight more of these plays because, this is something that, and really, unless you're a coach or maybe you have a son in the program, and when you do your banquet, we get to see these individual plays. Mm-hmm. So this is something neat to kind of break down that fourth wall and see what goes on and what it takes to move as a team.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. So this is fascinating. I hope the audience really appreciates all the fine things that have to happen in order to make that play truly successful. So again, our Facebook page is growing. We encourage you to like, follow, subscribe, share it. There's tons of great content out there. And, one of the things that we picked up on in the social is that you hosted a barbecue at your house recently.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to have our senior meeting. The gears of Seckman football never really stopped throughout the year, but, if there's ever an official start for me, it's that senior meeting. I have an opportunity to have the guys at my house. I get to host them, feed them. We did pulled pork and some hot dogs and things like that. And, we talk about a lot of things. We go over team goals. We set very clear expectations for the season and our standard and how we want to go about our business. And, it's a lot of fun. Talked to the boys. We thought it was very productive. One thing we kind of really focused on and we talked about is that identity of Seckman football that, I kind of just went over with us here in the last 4 or 5 plays there in the top 5. There's a lot of noise out there and opinions about us and things that we do and how we go about our business. And, what noise are you listening to? Is it positive? Does it uplift Seckman football? Because if it doesn't, is it something you really need to be listening to? Are you listening to the noise coming from your coaches, from the 30 seniors that I had the opportunity to meet with? What noise are you following? We have an identity, and we're moving forward with it.
Oh, wonderful. And it looks like just an amazing time and a chance for everyone to bond and build further chemistry because, I imagine the core of these seniors have been playing together probably even well before high school.
Yeah, a lot of these guys came from our Junior Jaguar program, and a handful of them started playing in high school. So, it's really, when it comes down to senior year, it's that last hurrah. And, well, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be? Is this going to be the group that, takes us back a couple steps? Is this going to be the group that kind of holds serve? Or is this going to be another group that moves us forward? Last year's group and the two previous moved us forward. I know what my plan is for this group, and I know what their plan is, and we plan on going forward too. And this was a good time to kind of set that path and make sure we're all on it.
Yeah, because I imagine these seniors, I don't think they've been a part of a program that had a losing season.
Yeah, we hit on that. We've won 28 varsity football games in the last 3 years while they've been in our football program, and it's something that I don't want them to forget. Winning football games is hard. Everything we've done, the work we've put in the last 3 years, it's been hard. And any success that we have this year, it's going to be hard to do. And we need to buckle up, be ready, and know that the coaches and I are raising our expectations, and they have to meet them.
Okay, Coach. And we had one other question come in from social media. One of the Junior Jags has a question for you and about your play calling, essentially.
Oh, fun.
Hey, Coach Baer, this is Connie Zell, future second wide receiver. The question is, I noticed on Friday night teams you guys run the ball more than pass. Like you guys run the ball a lot. Will that change in the future?
Yeah,
Carl, I don't think I've ever gotten that question before.
It's a very good question.
Hey, what I'd say to that, there's a lot of people that think we should pass more. They go to Oakville, they go to Fox, they go to Webster Groves, they go to Parkway South, they go to Northwest. A lot of teams would like to see us get away from our identity and what we do. I know we kind of get a bad rap for not throwing the ball, but we actually do. We're actually pretty effective with it. We've thrown for over 800 yards the last couple of years, which is good enough for top, 4, 5, and 6 in program history in passing yards. It's kind of one of those things where, we're constantly evaluating and developing our passing game, and it's something we want to continue to build on this year. When we talk about, do we want to pass more? Well, first thing we have to look at, what are our physical abilities? What are our physical tools that we have? Do we have the length, right? Do we have the height and the length in our receivers? Do they have the speed? Do they have the ability to get that space and get open, right? Can you execute the play call? Do we have a guy that could sling it? That's kind of a huge thing you need in a passing game. What are the capabilities of our quarterback? What positions can we put him in to be successful? If we struggle throwing the ball, it doesn't make a lot of sense to throw the ball 20, 25 times a game and ask a guy to do something that he won't be very successful with. Still going back to those physical tools, do we have the lineman that can block it? Can we set up a pocket? Can we get it protected? These are things that my coaches and I were constantly evaluating, trying to figure out, and we're always building and trying to develop it. When it comes to having pass plays, I've been on teams where, we've had about 100 pass plays, and we couldn't run 3 of them successfully. All right. Well, when we're building our passing game, we're looking about having 10 to 15 different concepts that we can run efficiently. And it's worked pretty effectively the last couple of years. And I definitely understand that, a young wide receiver wanting to catch the ball. I'll tell you, when you do come to Seckman football and you do get up here to the high school, you're going to join a long line of dudes that I really respect and have a lot of respect for. These guys knew before they ever touched the ball they were going to block for their teammates. It's truly a selfless teammate. Guys like Tanner Barker, the original OG. Hope he's out there. Come by anytime, buddy. Those guys played for their teammates. Anthony Westervelt, Ty Kitchen, Cade Heinemeyer, Ian Coe. This is a line of guys that have set a very high expectation for Seckman receivers. And I hope when he gets up here, he's able to achieve that. He'll definitely get that opportunity.
Excellent. Well, Coach, we're coming up on our time. Wanted to allow you to close us out with your final thoughts as we wrap up the school year and head into to June.
Yeah, for any parents watching, make sure we are getting our players signed up on Privet. Physical forms will be coming home. Those will be important for us to make sure we start practice on time in August. Please support our football booster club. Okay, if you haven't had the opportunity to do that already, that allows me to really plan on things that we can do to provide a high quality football experience to your player. The reality of the world is we need capital to do that. So I appreciate everybody taking time. Really, Carl, I do appreciate, I know I got a chance to kind of get on my soapbox a few times here today, and I really didn't mean to get too preachy, I promise. But I'm really just excited to get the summer started. For me, when you're talking about having 180 players, my goal is to get them all moving in the same direction. And that's really what I spend a lot of my time doing. There is no room for distractions. There is no room for even one or two people to want to go their different way. And, hopefully the boys can trust me, trust my passion for this team, this sport, this school. And we have another fun season.
Yeah, well, we're certainly looking forward to it. I know maybe, down the road we could look at the schedule and break it down game by day, but game by game. But I know week 2, obviously our home opener is a big one. And
yep.
That's
big Fox game week 2. So, we've already talked to the seniors about that. We'll have to be at our best very early.
Yeah. Okay, Coach. Well, again, thank you so much for your time today. And we appreciate you, opening up the curtain on Seckman football, and certainly look forward to talking to you again in the next one.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Carl.
All right. Thank you.